profile just set up on all of the platforms just to make it easy for people to find you. Because let's say, you've got a large audience, but, some of them happen to be on Twitter, but not any of these other platforms. Well, they might want to look you up on Twitter, and then you can have a link to your website or your other platforms. LinkedIn is a very underutilized social media platform. Most people think about it as, the suit and tie set, right, for business. But you'd be surprised that every person you need to know is on LinkedIn because they're all the executives. They're all the executives at the film companies and distribution companies. They're all on LinkedIn. And very few people reach out to them on LinkedIn, which means that if you can kind of cut through that fear of doing cold outreach to people, it's a really great way to market yourself without trying to be too salesy, obviously. But I think it's really important to utilize all those platforms. But specifically, for me, it's Instagram because everybody is on Instagram. It's visual, it's compelling. It's the platform you can grow your audience the easiest.
Okay. Yeah. So what are some key strategies for social media to both create and grow your audience?
Excellent question. So they're always changing depending on the landscape of social media. What you really want to do in order to engage your audience, to find your audience, is you have to spend some time doing some research, right? So if you're doing a genre film, there's probably hashtags about that genre in Instagram, in Twitter, even on LinkedIn, even on Facebook. So if you just type in those hashtags and you can start to see the number of conversations about that, then you can start to understand what hashtags people are following. And you kind of want to keep your hashtags that you use to be discoverable for conversations for a hashtag. There are about 50,000 to probably 750,000, maybe 1 million. Because anything over that, you're going to get lost in the noise of all of those conversations. I like to keep my hashtag strategy to anywhere between 50 and 150,000 hashtag uses. Instagram will show you how many uses of that hashtag there are, because you're going to be more easily discovered that way. You also want to create really compelling content. Now, if it's for your project, obviously you're going to have a film trailer. You might have some key art being, I don't know if you've defined that terminology, but it's typically your poster. It's the key piece of art that you have for your project. Your key art, maybe you have some images of the actors or maybe behind the scenes photography or video. All of that stuff that you put on social media can tell a compelling, engaging story to other filmmakers, to people who like movies, to people who are just fascinated with Hollywood, who want to see what happens behind the scenes. So really curating your content to be engaging with people who are fascinated by filmmaking, especially for your genre, whatever that may be.